We are back with another one. Welcome to the Theory Expo. We just had. I'm gonna tell you the truth before we even get started. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be heavy-handed with it right now.
No, go ahead.
It wasn't the best. That was my favorite episode. It's not the best. I'm not. We do the rankings. We do the rankings and all that. They're better, like 5. I mean, come on, it's 5. Right.
Yeah.
We talking about Ahsoka, so
moments,
let's,
right?
you know what, know why we here, right? I mean, 5 is 5, right? So let's not even get it twisted. 4. I mean, it's parts of 3, like 3, but you get to 4, it's like, oh, okay, we got lightsaber battles, we got Balin work, we got Ahsoka, we got a lot of things happening. Mom Mothma, it's different things. The New Republic, right? We got some good stuff happening in 4. 5, we do our Star Wars rankings again, like Star Wars episodic rankings again. Like,
we need to do that again.
Like 5, I mean, you can't not. I don't know who get kicked out, but you can't not have 5 in there, right? You can't not have 5.
It's gonna be tough, yeah.
6, my favorite up to this point, right? 6, my favorite up to this point because, like, when I envisioned the show, this is like I envisioned this. Not saying that what we've been getting, we've been getting some good stuff. When I envisioned the show, I envisioned this, and there were just moments in the episode that it had me happy, had me feel. I felt good, like, I mean, that just, this is what, and like, there wasn't that, something happened and people appear, and it's like, oh man, that's how they did this person. Sometimes you get let down by that stuff, right? And I'm sure, there's moments of that in this for people.
Yeah.
But for me, I just wasn't. It was just my favorite episode, man. Like I knew it was going to be a slower episode because we talked about that, how the one preceded like the way it ended. The previous episode 5, after she left the world between worlds, and we had so much going on, and then it just calmed down. Like they didn't even really have dialogue, right? When she was talking to the whales and Ahsoka the White showed up, it was just kind of like, whew. So like this next episode is not, we gonna ride back in. But I came out and I was like, oh yeah, this is what I envisioned. This is my favorite episode. And I keep repeating myself, but I know there's better ones, but I really like this one. And I'm ready to talk about it because we haven't. I mean, I had a line I was gonna send you. I'm gonna say it once I go through the I'm gonna say it when I go through the thing. But you want to get started? You got anything you want to add? You kind of wanted to get started?
Let's get started, man. Let's get right into it.
Let's get started, man. We gotta do some new episode 6, and we jump in, about to head to the new galaxy. I think we start off with the show begins with Ahsoka and Hu Yang on a hyperspace journey with the Purrgil, reminiscing about the Jedi Temple, and they had that 3 parts of the history of the galaxy story, right?
Yeah, that was dope.
I took that instantly, like that might symbolize
first time
like
we ever heard far away. Yeah.
It was like when he said the 3 parts. I was like, oh damn, is that the original? That's the prequels, original trilogy. And the sequels, right? It's the 3 parts, and then you could get deeper. Like it's always 3 movies and things within those. Like so, you can have a favorite movie, whatever. But that's what I took it as. But who knows? I said then they discuss Sabine's willful choice to leave Balin and its potential ramifications. This kind of get brought up like throughout the episode, right? Like they keep kind of like harking on that. And one thing I wanted to kind of say, about that, right? They keep going, they kind of going, and now I'm like coming on the other. I'm coming out the other side about that, right? About Sabine's choice, because that was an awful lot to expect for anybody. It got thrown in her face a couple times this episode. You got to think about Sabine, right? Sabine was a Mandalorian, right? They always fight. They never had peace. Especially the time that she was, right? They've always been in Civil War. Then they had times where they was fighting other people. That's when they together. Yeah. Then when they ain't fighting nobody else, they fight each other again. She went to the Empire. Then she left the Empire, and then her family disowned her, right? She joined the rebel. They fighting, and then lose Kanan, and then she loses Ezra at the end. Yeah, they defeat the Empire, and now we got the rebels and the Alliance defeat the Empire, and now we got peace. But where's her? She never enjoyed a period of peace.
No,
right? Like Ezra was gone, and she was wearing that because he kind of told her, "I'm counting on you." Right, and we see in this episode where I'm like, at first I dismissed that, like maybe she understood it wrong. Is she wearing that? Like, oh no, he was really counting on
No,
her.
he was waiting.
He was counting on her. So it was like,
I expect you to be the one to get me out of this when I make this choice.
On you. So when everybody, so like, like when Hera and them, and she got a son, mind you, she had lost too, but she got a son. She got chopped. They won the war. She was always there, and
promoted.
Life goes on for Zeb. Life goes on. They did an epilogue, but it never went on for her, right? So for people that meaning so when I say at the end, when it was like, yo, why was she, she did that, and she was being selfish, and she was like, kind of Ahsoka saying like that was a selfish kind of act, and she did that for herself, and it was like, yo, like if Thrawn came back and started another war, she never got out of that. She don't know what peace is. Like to be able to measure it, like I'd rather have young Easy back. We can just go ahead and fight and do all this again. Like at least I got him back. But what I got now was not Thrawn coming back. We beat Thrawn. Like Thrawn really wasn't a problem for them. Like he was a problem, but he really wasn't a problem for them.
Not for them.
You can see by when we're gonna get to it, when she started talking, when we get the presentation, it wasn't like she was shook. Like they gave Thrawn problems. Thrawn respect them. So that's what I'm saying. Like he don't keep saying like Thrawn, he coming back. Why would you do this? You and the different things, and it's like, well, what's Sabine going to do? She don't know. Getting Ezra back is worth the price of getting Thrawn back. She don't see it as a lose situation. I get him. I don't. At least I'm happy for a minute, as opposed to I don't know. But like I say, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. But I just like when they was doing that, I was just like when they was saying it to her, and I was like, no, I'm on the other side. Like, of course she want to get Ezra back. What else she got? She lost her family. She got nothing. She don't have peace.
So the words out my mouth. Yeah.
My bad.
Make a good point. No, you're right. Make a good point. Everything that she gave up everything to be with them, essentially. The rebels, her group of rebels, and like you said, to lose Kanan, and then after that lose Ezra, and Ahsoka is like a nomad at this point. She just hopping around the galaxy. She never sticks around. She never stays around and is like, all right, yeah, let's kick it. Let's move in together. Yes, we like sisters. No, Ahsoka's always leaving, always on her own mission.
Yeah.
Hera, like you said, Hera had a kid and got promoted and became a general and all that. She's still in the military. So it's like, right, like what do everything that she gave up everything to be with certain people, and those people are gone. So yeah, you tell her like, all right, and then it's like, even if I wanted to go back, my family gone now. My real family is gone. So
yeah,
what do I have? You telling me
Ezra, first of all,
Ezra's still alive? Yeah, Ezra's still alive. You telling me I can be with him, or I can at least have him back in my life? Now, yeah, come on, man. It was
a no-brainer choice.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer. Like Ahsoka should have expected that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that Ahsoka still can't see it. I'm gonna show this little pic of when they were getting into the story to tell. And this was when Ahsoka was saying the part about, I didn't tell Hera that Sabine left willingly, right? And then Ahsoka called her selfish, and it was just like, they're not selfish, but she said it was a selfish act or something. And then Yang telling her like, she don't got the Force. She don't got the Force to tell her, kind of guide her to the quote unquote right decision. Right. But it's like, to me, I'm watching and I'm like, hey, why are you even expecting that? But then, she want to change the topic. And then, like you say, we get to that part where we want to take it. She's like, you know what? Tell me the story.
Because at first she turned it down, right? At first
she dismissed it, right?
Yeah, she dismissed it.
And she was like, like, go ahead and tell me. We get to that. He's like, a long time ago when they say in the galaxy far, far away. Like I said, love that title part. Love the fact that it was, like I say, it was on the nose, but it got me in the state of mind of like, oh yeah, this might be an exposition episode, which is fine, right? But like I say, we talked about that was going to be an chance because of the way the episode ended. But I know we just talked about that in the, they always say that I don't know if it's not canon, but it's always kind of thought that it's really we've always seen Star Wars from it's actually like kind of R2, like basically it's R2's story. But what if this whole time it was really Yang's story, right? Like he's been the one telling them these stories, right? But that was actually I was like, oh okay, yeah, it's about we ready to rock. They said we ready to rock when that happened.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, you got something about to say?
Nah.
I think I just
go
go
next.
But after that, once we get to the rig, once the hyperspace rig reaches destination, we actually start to get into some new Star Wars lore about the new galaxy. This we find Peridia. It's the homeworld of the witches. Dathomir, also a graveyard for the Purrgil.
That's
we get to the
interesting,
planet. It was our graveyard for the Purrgil, right? So we like, what do we? I'll let you go ahead and.
No, that's a good, because it just go back to the question we had. Remember we talked about it, was like, man, why didn't Ezra just like talk to the Purrgil? Like, all right,
yo, they answered my question, right?
like, hey, we dropped Thrawn off in the ship. Can we go back now? It's like, nah, man, they dead. Like Purrgil, from the looks of it, it's like a graveyard, like a boneyard for Purrgil. So more than likely, the Purrgil that brought him there met the demise there in this planet. Plus, there's like some witchcraft going on. So yeah, that was interesting, man. That kind of all questions were answered. Like you said, it was some exposition being dropped there. So we definitely find out why Ezra,
couldn't just come back.
Get to it a little bit later, is why he didn't come back, and if he wanted to come back. We find out both, get answers to both. So yeah, that part was interesting to me. That it was a boneyard, it was Purrgil, and it's like
that like kind of ring was just that ring around it. It looked like a Saturn ring was really just Purrgil bones.
Yeah, like they can't. That's like the end for them, I guess, right? That's like, so yeah, that was dope, but that was kind of like dark too. Like, damn, again, new lore, like you said, new lore, new galaxy.
Yeah, I think she was saying that this was where they learned. She was saying that this is where the Dathomir witches they actually learned how to get to the other one using the Purrgil. Like they learned they were the first before time was recorded to be able
that was a loop. Yeah, that threw me.
Purrgil.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Because Balin was trying to say like Jedi was doing. No. That's the last thing I would have thought.
That was very interesting.
Yeah. Filoni interweaving this. He really getting into this Dathomir, this witch thing that like I would have never thought would have been a big part of this show. Right.
Nah. And I mean, we saw the statues in the beginning. Yeah, we saw the first episode, the statues and all that, and the carvings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It was clearly Dathomir, witches, but and they even say they going to that planet, but I did not expect that. I did not expect them to be that, entrenched into the origins of, basically the plot of this plot. Like I just really didn't see that coming.
Yeah. When we get to the planet, we see there like those Clone Wars type era Night Sisters.
Yeah.
And these look like the mother ones, right? They look like the mother one. Remember the mother one, like that was like that brought us Savage on press, like they gave them. They all three kind of look like it, but the middle one really looked like it, right?
Yeah, they look closer to mirroring than old girl do, right? Like old girl, we find out she a witch, and she looks more like a witch. I'm talking about Morgan. She looks more like a witch in this show than she did when we first see her in the Mandalorian, the Jedi episode. But here, these look like Marin, they look like they more on her side. Like they got the white skin, face tattoos. Did have that, didn't she? Yeah, they look alien, bro. They don't look as humanoid as Morgan do. So it's interesting. It definitely make you figure it out right away. Like, oh, okay, yeah, they definitely come from another planet. Dathomir is not their natural planet. So that was dope.
Yeah,
native.
Yeah, once we after we get this kind of the stop through, we get this kind of scene with Balin. Balin begins to talk about his time at the Jedi Temple, and then goes into how history keeps repeating itself. It's inevitable. Jedi Empire, wash, rinse, repeat. And I think we're starting to get to the point where like it's starting to kind of lock in a little bit, and we're gonna talk about it like in a little bit about why what's his overall motivation, what's his purpose, what is he trying to do? And it's starting to
he's dropping hints.
Starting to come out. He's dropping those hints.
Yeah, he's dropping hints.
He's dropping those hints.
Yeah, he definitely dropping hints. So
yeah,
eventually he gonna
right after. Yeah. Would you say eventually what?
No, eventually he's gonna reveal his, whatever his grand plan is. I got a little bit of a criticism about that. We'll touch on it later. Once we get like towards the end, but
yeah.
Just about how this is a recurring theme with characters, man. Like this whole idea of like I don't want to talk about the past really. It's like every character is like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't my past really bothers me. Like I get it, man, but it's like damn, every character is like this now. Like whereas I still struggle with my past. It's like I don't know. It's just
that's a Mandoverse thing, right? Like for real, right?
Yeah,
Ben was like that. Grogu got the past.
Yeah, it's like damn, man. Like I get that, but it's like that's not everybody in Star Wars. But it's lately it's started to become just like the thing is, you know, it's my past is I either want to forget about the past or my past is determining my future. You know, it's like all right, we get it.
Talk about my past.
Yeah, like we get it. Like Sabine had a line in the show, and we'll get to it, where she's like, where Balin, I don't want to skip ahead, but when Balin has her in the cell, he's like,
yeah.
I would think this is a time for self-reflection. She was like, I try not to do that. And it's like,
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, you know, I get why she would say that, but it's like, damn, man, every character is dealing with this, like, where they don't want to reflect on the past, you know. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of overused. One of my little,
they all got
my gripes.
They all got a lot to unravel, right? But it hasn't started to unravel because even like there's a little part in the beginning that when we could talk about the beginning of the episode that it seemed like Ahsoka fully turned the corner. Like we see her, it seemed like even brighter spirits.
Yeah,
but not really.
She pull it. That's a good point. She pulls it back immediately. Like I'm like, damn, Ahsoka. She back to kind of like sulking again. I didn't. Really
and it's only you and Hu Yang. Like it don't really seem like you need to be like that.
Like what happened? Like you had this bright disposition coming out of when you first got into the Purge Guild, but now we pick up in this episode and it's immediately back to kind of like this. That was a selfish decision. You know what? I don't want to talk about it. Just tell me the history of the galaxy. And it's like, all right, you know, I mean, we kind of I don't know.
Hand off shit. And it's usually like you say, get to the point, especially with them two, is when they hear something they don't want to hear, right? When they don't hear something they want to hear, and it's like, you know what, change the topic. I don't want to deal with my past, that is true.
Yeah, it's
really heavy-handed on this episode. I mean, this
they keep doing that. Balin is kind of like, you know, he don't want to talk about the Jedi, but you know, it's just I don't know, man. It's just like, damn, all right, I get it, you know, but does every character have to be like that? Like, you know. And you said, like you said, it's a Mandoverse thing. It's not like Ahsoka. It's not a Ahsoka thing. Mandoverse. So they got to figure out something about that. They got to do something about that and try not to overuse that because that's not, you know, that wasn't a thing in that's not a thing in Star Wars like always. Yeah, Anakin was kind of like that, you know, but like Luke and Leia wasn't like that until we got to the sequel trilogy. But if you think about the original, they was like, nah, I grew up on, you know, Leia. I grew up on Alderaan. Luke, oh yeah, I was a farm boy. They could talk about their past, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I just hope that we don't. I hope it develops into something with Balin, especially. Yeah, it's worth it, you know. And it's not just him just saying that, just continuing to say like, yeah, you know, and Sabine as well. Like, I just hope she, you know, it's just a weird line for me, you know, for her to, yeah, I try not to do that. I try not to self-reflect. It's like, okay, weird line.
And I feel like. Yes, and it was weird because it seemed like them two got a connection. I don't even know how to say it, but like they feel like if anybody can talk, I feel like if any two people in this thing that could talk to each other, it's them two. I don't know if they see something in her or whatever it is.
Ends of the spectrum, right? Because he called it out immediately, like, oh yeah, he didn't even because she immediately she just assumes that he's gonna break his promise, but he's like, we on the ship, like. And then he walked out. He don't even react. He don't get like she like, you know, her whole vibe changes when she see, hey, we had a deal, and he calm, you know. He's like, yeah, I just think this would be a time to self-reflect. I try not to do that. Where's Ezra? You know, she's stuck on that. So he walks out, and he's like, you know, she's impatient. You know, so he can clearly read her. I mean, but they on opposite ends. He clearly powerful with the Force. She has no force. You know, he's patient. He's impatient. You know what I mean? So he keeps his promise, you know, but I agree. They got a connection. I can see that.
Yeah, look, they got a little something.
Because he could talk to her like.
It's like they got, like the guard could be down easily. Like, and it's almost like he got, you know, like he already got a smooth kind of like you know, confident kind of way that he moved, but it's like it seemed like he, again, I could be making too much out of it, but it seemed like if he was going to tell his story, It'll be the Sabine.
Might be her, yeah.
It might be the Sabine, like for real. Like it ain't like for anybody else, you got to keep a kind of like whatever that guard is. But like look, I got you. Don't worry about it. Like even when we get to later parts of it, where it was like, where they question him if he might want to keep his word, and he's like, nah, he keeping his word for her. Whatever happened,
she wasn't harmed. Like,
yeah, whatever happened, it ain't gonna be him. I could see him protecting her from whatever they about to happen because of what he said. Like, nah, I got, I'm one I'm in, but that's not what this about. I'm not here to do that to you. I got you here. Even what's gonna happen, it's gonna potentially happen in the next episode. I would gander that he not going to his detriment. He not gonna let that happen.
No, because he clearly has some foresight, right, in the Force, right?
Yeah.
He would he see the double cross coming. He see the them being marooned on that planet in that galaxy. I think he see that coming. He got other plans though, and like you said, they not meeting up with them to destroy them or whatever like they was ordered. He got some other plans, and usually they probably got something to do with Easy, Being that he kind of that's for him. That's the unknown, right? Because he like you say, he read Sabine like a book. He got an apprentice, but when they brought up Ezra, he was like, nah, too young. She was like, yeah. What about
the broken Jedi?
Yeah. Did he say broken? Or what did he say? Boken?
The Boken. Yeah.
The Boken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boken Jedi.
Boken Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I like his response when Easy was brought up. I thought was interesting. So I think for him, that's something that he's gonna be interested in this next episode. But my bad, let's
go. We was talking about that. So like right after that, you kind of like started it off. Right after Balin left her, we get a scene with Sabine. Looks like she's trying to use the Force. Bro, it's happening. I was like, it's gonna happen. So I'm cool because she ain't gonna do it one more. The next time she do that, the Force happen, bro.
Because because it's kind of like a gimmick, right? Where they kind of like tease you. They kind of like tease us with and then something happens and it's not really her.
Everything happened in threes. Well, I guess it would already been the third time if but it's been two times on her own, right? Where she kind of put it like two times on her own without Ahsoka around and she tried to do it. I'm thinking this next time she's gonna use it, but
I'm hoping not. But I think you're right. I think she will use it.
Yeah, we get this scene where she's trying to use the Force, and we see the movement of the building. But what that movement is the result of the ship known as the Chimera approaching. Like I say, in all of its splendor, engine's not working. Looks like it got like gold patching, over like the top, patching holes of the hull. But it's on its way, and it settles right on the platform where the witches and the Morgan and Balin are on. Now, my first question is what did you think of Thrawn's look and entrance, and also the look of his troops, namely Epoch?
Man,
I'm sorry.
Let's focus in on him first.
Yes,
this right here, we've never this is what you call a new Star Wars, right? Mm-hmm. We've never seen anything like this before, right? Whether you love it or hate it, like it or don't like it, or don't care, whatever. This is when I realized. I mean, granted, we saw the new planet, saw the Chimera had look in its condition now. It looked like it got like tattoos on it now, war paint or whatever it is. But this, it's like it's interesting. It just looked like a bygone era, don't it? Like, damn. Yeah, like it take you back to like the original trilogy. But when I saw this helmet, man, I was like, that's like new Star Wars. I don't love it. I don't hate it either. But it's definitely something that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something that signaled for me we in another galaxy. We so far, it looks so foreign and so different from the usual stormtroopers. But for Thrawn, I thought Thrawn was imposing for the most part. Thrawn didn't go to the gym like you suggested.
Right, man.
He ain't get to make it to the gym. Like they, I don't think he had like a lot of time to prepare, But
that was my recommendation. Like you might need to go to the gym.
Might need to go to the gym to be the Thrawn that was in the show. Yeah, I mean that was the truth. But it has been 10 years. It's been a 10-year period, man. I thought Thrawn was imposing, man. I was kind of like thrown off a little bit about them chanting his name, because I chalked that up to them being in another galaxy and them being sort of like, our glorious leader who led us through this decade of exile.
Yeah.
But at first it kind of threw me off. It's like, why are they chanting? That would never happen in the original galaxy, right? Like that would never happen. No. They never said Vader, exactly. Emperor. Like just stormtroopers don't do that. They don't chant.
You know what they called them in the thing? They called them night troopers.
They called them night troopers.
If you had the caption, and when the caption
was on, you're right. They did.
It's called night troopers, man. That's a deep, but this might be a little deeper. That might be a reason why they chant. Because they might not be.
That's a good point.
There might be some of that. Might be some of that in there. They got
these might not be humans. Yeah, these might not be the original crew that he brought with him, right? Like this these might be recruited, he might have got them from that planet or from that galaxy. So that's a good point. You're right. But yeah, as far as Thrawn though, I thought Thrawn was imposing, man. I thought he immediately I like what I saw, man. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoyed it, man. Go ahead.
I got 2 points. I ain't mean to cut you. My bad, bro.
No, you good.
I love the Thrawn theme, right?
Yeah.
I like the Thrawn theme. I like that patched up armor those night troopers had. Like at first it was like grimy kind of art feel, but then I was like looking more at it, right? Like it might be
that's merchandise, man. That's a toy right there.
Really be boy. Think about that cosplay.
We never saw you never saw a trooper like that.
And this guy right here, like he could, that helmet could be on the case behind us or behind me. But I like that. I like when they went. I had one. I don't know why I thought this was funny, but when they mentioned Sabine, right? When they mentioned Sabine, what I thought I said Thrawn went into his Kenobi voice when he was like, "That's a name I haven't heard in a long time."
I wish we could play that clip,
man. That's a name. My boy was like, Sabine Red. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Because he kind of talked with like this, like he don't really like pause, like he don't really open his mouth all the way. He kind of just, that's your name. I'm talking about Thrawn, not Kenobi, but
he's like, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But you could like, okay, we got her here, and I like how tactical it was. Like even when he said that next line, when it was like. When they introduced the mercenaries and introduced Baylan, they introduced Baylan Skoll, and he was like, "Oh, General Baylan Skoll." It was just, I felt like that was just
he let you know that like his intel is up to date, B. Like,
yeah.
I know who I'm dealing with. Yeah, like no surprise.
I already see you, but I want to make sure you see me. Like I bet you, but I already know what I'm here. Yeah. So if anything gonna happen, believe me, I got your rundown already.
I've been debriefed.
I got your whole rundown,
which has got me. Man, that was Thrawn, man. Like, that's Thrawn. You know what I mean? Always 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps ahead of you. Baylan Skoll. Yeah. You said you had another point, though.
No, that was my points. Like I say, I like when they said Sabine's name, and he kind of was like, he always take his time. It was like, oh yeah, I know, Sabine, y'all don't know her, but yeah, I know her. We did some battle, and then when they said that Baylan, it was just like, I'm letting y'all know. I'm letting you know. One, I'm the alpha here.
Thrawn worked out, man. None of this. Yeah, and I even talked about this last week. Like from the first images I saw, I didn't notice that he actually do got the ridges in his face, like around his he got the thing like there's like you can see the things around his eyes. Yeah, if you look closer, you can see him. I didn't even notice that. Divot. Yeah, he got the little divot, so he got it's him. Like I didn't notice that the first time from the images I saw when they first images they released. So yeah, man, they and I look at this like just like Ahsoka changed. Thrawn will only get better. You know what I mean? Like Thrawn will only look
Oh,
more like the show.
100%, 100%. It's
You know,
always
by the time we, like
it's
Luke,
always like
yeah, everybody,
Luke got better.
Luke
It's
got
always
better,
shocking at first, like you like.
Yeah.
So then, but if you run to the thing and being like, "Oh, this is ain't like just chill."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got that. But guess what? If they don't keep him off in this season, which they not, when he get cleaned up, because you know he's been out here rugged in his wasteland for 10 years.
Yeah, you know how many times he probably had to clean that uniform or
get somebody like that.
Yeah, bro, this shit was white.
Deal with these.
Yeah, shit was white, bro. He was clean.
It
was clean.
It was clean.
Hey, man, Thrawn was clean, bro. He had a cut.
He was clean.
He ain't had no beard like I thought he was gonna have. Because if you look back on his little prequel comics and books and stuff, he used to have like long hair when he was younger. Like he used to, you know.
Yeah.
Nah, he ain't had none of that. He was clean shaven. He was strong.
Yeah, he was cold. Like, and the thing was, I liked everything. Like that's his and that's Lars's character.
Yeah.
Right. So. Only thing he had to do, because he's an older guy. You know, I'm go older fella. Like I tell the joke, like he needed the gym, but like Thrawn been out there for 10 years and he's older.
Yeah,
he looked like what an older Thrawn would look like.
Yeah, they do.
You know, without that.
And you got to think about the stress and all that of trying to get back and probably fighting off the locals and subjugating the locals.
Exactly.
You know, that's gonna take a toll on you. So it works out, man. Yeah, I was impressed, man. I was like, Thrawn is here, bro. And to me, he just looked like a villain that always been a Star Wars villain. Like, even though he technically got reintroduced and we've never seen him in live action, he fit in. He was right in the vein of Tarkin.
Yeah.
You know, like he ain't Vader or nothing like that. He ain't necessarily the Emperor, but he right there, you know. He's an Imperial, you know what I mean? He got the demeanor down. So yeah, I like Thrawn, man. To me, I was like immediately like, and you know, the voice is perfect. It's his character, it's his voice. So yeah, Thrawn worked out.
The pauses he had when he was talking, right? He would be like, he just like, to me, it's all he always being analytical, right? Everything he say, like we have the part where he's gonna let Sabine go. Like she tell, like, you know, where's Ezra? And he tell, like, damn, you really you were willing to risk the fate of the galaxy on getting your friend. Yeah, you go. I'll go ahead. We'll let you go.
Yeah,
gonna take you off, and we'll give you what they said. Give you some rations. Give you a ride. Give your weapons back. Give you our intel on where his last known where he could possibly be.
He got a poker face, don't he? Because he don't give nothing away. He just
nothing.
No, we got a mount for you, and you know, we got a
the little,
you know,
we're
gonna tell you Ezra's last whereabouts. Hooked her up, but he never reacts. Only when he sort of asks her that question is the only time you see him sort of, you know, react a certain way. But outside of that, it's how everybody else acts around him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Morgan is like shook when that surprise come out there where they figure out it's another Jedi coming. She like. And he just kind of like keep calm, like, oh, you didn't say anything about that. He did that thing that your boss, if you've been a boss or you got a boss, where you kind of like your subordinate or somebody, or you the subordinate, and your boss find out something in front of you that you were supposed to do, and they kind of just they talk over you like, oh yeah, I ain't hear him. Oh, really? Oh, so and so came in at 9 but didn't clock in.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always
just got to my desk, like, you know.
It's always don't let
don't let the
first time and it ain't come from you. Like, if you knew it, don't let somebody else tell them.
Yep.
Right.
Kill you
or if you what you will say to somebody, like, why am I hearing this from somebody else?
Exactly. Don't let don't
let me hear from somebody else. Like, because he had told her, like, how, like, damn, I'm surprised you would underestimate a Jedi. He told me she was dead.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you would underestimate a Jedi.
You told me it was behind you. Yeah, to underestimate a Jedi. And she's like, bro, she shook, like, because, you know, that's like she under a lot of pressure, you know. She had to find him. She had to get all the way, you know, get all that stuff together, get the mercenaries, you know, bring together all these resources just to get out there. It's still, she done brought stuff with her now. She done brought her problems from the old galaxy with her. He like, nah, you just remain calm. Like, it's already making adjustments in his mind. Like, all right, well,
yep.
I'm planning for that. That's cool. Let me witches. I need y'all again. You know.
yeah.
That's what the boss. Like he a boss, man. Like he's the Grand Admiral, man. He's yeah. So I like that.
When they sent after they sent Sabine out there, then they have this scene right here where Sabine going. Thrawn tells Balin and Shin to destroy Ezra if Sabine finds him. Shin looks at her master, surprised that she believed he would honor his word as they travel and see the carnage Sabine left. Shin asks, if we talked about this a little bit earlier, Shin asked if Balin knew Bridger, and that's what he calls him, a Boken Jedi trained in the wild. And then he, like you say, he told her that he had trained her for something greater, right?
Yeah. You something different. Yeah.
She asked him, did he mess? Like she asked him if he misses the order, and he lets us in, I think, a little bit on the spiritual ideals. Maybe what he wants, and maybe what he wants may be on this planet, right? He said something like something calls to me. Can't you hear it? And then he was like, this power may be the calling. This power that may be calling to him, should be power that the Night Sisters fear as well. Like it seems like they want to get out of there. Yeah. Now, what I came off of this is I was like, I think we know the ultimate purpose of Balin, like as the character. I believe he wants to start a new order, but in his ideals. And this Force Nexus planet type of world, and I've been using that a lot because Cetos was like that, and I think this planet is like that as well. Right. But I'm going deep. I'm going deep with this one. This is a deep one. Like I said, I think whatever power it may contain, according to him, may be the place for that. Similar to the planet for the original Jedi, where they found that Force planet, where basically what a whole Jedi thing started, where they had both, they had the light users, the dark users, and all that. It was just the Force, right? And this may be for this live action a similar planet to that as Balin sees. I'm not saying it is that, because it could be that whatever dark magic that's around there, it could be clouding him, but he think it is. Like this is what he thinks. So I think that's one. But I think really too, he's narratively going to be the first real tool to show how tactical, intelligent, and powerful Thrawn is. Because Thrawn, we got to know for people that don't know, like we can see all this, and we got all this intel about Thrawn, like whether it's from books, even if we watch Rebels, whatever. We know Thrawn that dude, right? And if you really pay attention, like he that dude, not from a like a fear kind of way, like he like an average villain, stereotypical villain. We know, like you say, we've been already talking about it. If you don't know, like if you know, he already 10 steps ahead of Balin. He's already mapped out what Sabine gonna do for probably what he couldn't do or didn't want to do any longer with Bridger. Like she gonna set it up for him, right? Whatever it is, like he already ahead. But I think if we go back and we get back to the New Republic and all that, and I expect him to win and all this and all that. I think the first thing he do, as far as like letting us know he that dude, is take out Balin.
Okay, so
I think that's what Balin's purpose is to show how powerful Thrawn is.
I'm with you.
Now, I hope that's the case. Take him out,
or I hope he take him out. Is that clear? I hope it's that clear.
Because I got a second question. Well, so that's my point. But my question, so keep that one, and maybe blend in with the second question I got. Or question I got for you. Do you think some agency is beginning to appear in Shin that could become a rift between her and Balin, right? Like I don't think she's idealistic as he is. Probably doesn't see the vision he has. She's been and lived in the world and probably always was about survival and appeared a welcoming father figure who's now about to change. He's about to change, right? So whatever he hear in the distance, all that kind of stuff, and it's different ideal.
Yeah.
And she already not with the witchcraft.
Yeah.
And she not with this, but Thrawn probably already see that, right? Thrawn already probably see that. But do you think is that noticeable? So let me say it's noticeable.
No, it is. No, it is.
You see that like
you see the rift, not the rift, but you see the adverse nature between the Jedi and the witches through certain characters, right? And Shin always reacts a certain way to the witchcraft. she sees the witchcraft and
Facts.
orders, always like a tale, like where she's just like, or she'll just say it, witchcraft. Whereas Balin's just kind of like, yeah. It's like by any means with him, right? He don't bother him as much. But her being her young mind,
she looking at him.
Yeah, she like, you sure about it? Like,
hold on, wait,
she's
what?
unsure. She's we see the surprise in her face. Like, she's like, so I definitely see a rift, but you also see as soon as we see the witches for the first time, they're like, ugh, you stink of Jedi, you know. They hate the Jedi, you know what I mean? So so definitely there's something going on between the Jedi and the witches, obviously, you know. And you see it in those characters, right? Whether it be Morgan, witches, Shin. But I could definitely see a rift because Shin ain't with the witchcraft. And yeah, I could see her. She keeps running into these like revelations, right? Whether, even though it was small, or we think it was small, when she found out about Merrick, you know. You know, she could like she kind of long for the ride, but she ain't in on the plan. She's not in on the plan. She's a mercenary. She's thinking of it like this is another job. Who knows how many jobs they did leading up to this? But to her, it's another job. But she ain't signed up for like the witchcraft and whatever, you know. And she don't hear.
She told him like they trying to get out of here. Why?
Yeah.
What do you see?
Shouldn't we be? Yeah, like shouldn't we be?
They trying to get out of here.
Yeah, like yeah, so I can see a rift because I think she don't hear the voice, and we know how that works when you hear voices or see visions in the Force. You don't, no matter how great you think you are. Even Yoda realized, I forgot his exact line, but it's like, you know, the paraphrase. He's just like, it's not clear. Like, we don't really know you don't know what those visions are when he was talking to young Anakin. Like, you know, unclear the future is, you know. That wasn't his line, but still, it's like, you don't know, man. So you hearing these voices, you don't know what that is. You know what I mean? It kind of reminded me of Shang-Chi, where the dad was hearing the voices and turned out it was, But I can see that, you know, I think that it makes more sense in the Star Wars universe where, you hearing things or seeing things through the Force you really don't understand. And you usually lead down a dark path because you don't know how and my bad, I'm kind of going off here, but no. Even the chosen one prophecy, right? Everybody just thought, we got the chosen one right here. He gonna destroy the Sith. They didn't know he was gonna also destroy the Jedi. Yeah. But he completed this, he completed this task. He destroyed the Sith, but it cost the order. You know what I mean? And they never recovered, by the way. Never. They never recovered. Still haven't recovered to this day.
They didn't understand. They didn't do the equation of what balance to the Force meant.
Yeah, they don't know what that is. They just know balance. So you can hear a prophecy. Somebody could tell you like, you're gonna be a rich man. Yeah. But if I hear that shit through the Force, I'm like, I'm running. Like, oh no, give away all my money. That's through the Force. We don't know what that could be. How I'm gonna get rich? I don't know. Force. Yeah, you ain't telling me my whole family gotta. Yeah, just trust us. You ain't telling me my whole. Everybody got to die that I know for me to give. You know what I mean? I'm just using an example, but yeah.
No, but for real, that's what it like, and it sounds seductive. Like this right he got like Yoda was trying to say that like he was talking about the Luke. So basically, like in episode 5, like about how the dark side, when he was saying the dark side though, but he was like, it's seductive, it's an easier route, and it's like when it seems like what's happening with Balin is seductive.
Yeah,
like it's here. What I'm looking for is here, and she like. I'm looking at her. She like, yo, that's not that's not what I'm here for. Like you changed, like, or you under witchcraft, or you whatever it is. It seems like it's something there.
I think Balin gonna get got, and I think Shin gonna be the one to pull him out, or she gonna be the one that's gonna have to put him out of his misery. But I think he already got, like he already, you know, something calling to him and compelled him to go through with this mission. And we know this dude is smart. Like this dude is intelligent. This dude is you know, he steps ahead of Morgan, and you know he's right there. Maybe not eye to eye with Thrawn, but he realized what Thrawn is doing. You know, he ain't just send him out there. Yeah, go ahead and get him. You know, whatever. No, he know they can get left, but he's there. Like you said, for his own mission.
Get got, because he said it like we were saying, like, hey, if they got to get God or get left, then they got to get God or get left. But he know that. You say he know that.
Yeah. And that's kind of and like you said, tied into my question, and I'll segue to my bad. But what do you think of that though? What is your own question? What do you think? Like, do you think she gonna be the
it's
one?
100%.
You think they're
I
gonna,
don't see.
there's gonna
I'm
be a
coming
rift?
more to that because I think so. If I had to make a prediction right now, right, like and how it would happen, it would be that she might align herself with the Thrawn side because whatever they have to do, and when we get to the end, and if they gotta take out, he not gonna do it, right? He not gonna do it because there may be something with Young Easy out there that may be the thing, right? Right, whatever it is that's calling to him, but that something to that effect, whatever it is around him, like we could. But he want to start something new. I say all that to say she probably becoming less aligned with him, and I think he's changed. When he was saying that shit, like, don't you hear it?
Yeah.
What
He
already
he might be already compromised, right? Because it's the Force, man. You got to be careful with that.
He thinking it's a power that he can conquer, that he can behold, right? It's again seductive. So she may have to off him through Thrawn because she ain't trying to stay here, right? Yeah. Thrawn ain't really about to, he gonna get what he need to get, like get what he get from these dark Dathers, but like you just really a tool to Thrawn still.
And
he could use her, but I think through Thrawn, I think she's going to be the one that ultimately takes Baylan, because Baylan, and it ain't gonna be like a battle, right? Like Baylan to destroy her.
Yeah,
but she may have to. She just like that saber went through, like he put the saber through the like unexpectedly in the New Republic officer.
Yeah.
Like something like that might happen where he's actually standing there and he's trying to talk to Sabine and Ezra, and she go,
she might represent the pragmatic approach, right? That Thrawn went, because Thrawn don't understand the Force. Like he's not a Jedi. Like he don't even understand Sabine in that regard of like why you would come all the way across the galaxy chasing Ezra and all that. Like he don't.
Yeah.
He don't look
she
at
don't even
like
understand
that.
why. She don't even understand why Sabine doing it. Like that's why she asked a question about Bridger. Like she doing all this for him? Like she don't have attachments.
Right. She's a mercenary.
She's a mercenary.
She's young
to be a Force user. Yeah. So I think because she's starting to ask questions, right? Like ask those. What she's like looking. She already got the look anyway, but like she looking and she asking, and like it's almost like she getting information indirectly. But I think she could see, because even when he was talking, like, don't you hear it? She's like, I see bandits. Like this the real world, bro.
Yeah.
Enemy of my enemy.
Yep.
And she like, I'm here with witches. Like we here. We used to call it back in the day, like when your homie try to eat, like, man, hey, she got a friend, right? And then it ended up not being a friend you might like. She kind of on a dummy mission.
Yeah.
You just was the ride. Like you got us on a dummy mission out here. We all the way in. We all the way in Loveland, right? Yeah. Like we way farther than we needed to be.
That's a good point.
This ain't worth all that. So I think, and we're seeing all that. I just think, but I think that's what the parts of what Baylan is. It is showing that, but it ultimately just end up with showing how strong Thrawn is, because Baylan seemed like he might be. Again, I might be way too extra, but I think Baylan is starting to go over the edge, because he's not going to turn to the light. He's not going to get the opportunity, right? He's not going to get that opportunity, because what's calling him ain't natural.
It don't seem like it. If the witch is running from it, it's like that might not necessarily be the like you said, the light. It might not be something from the light. It's probably it's probably something from the dark. Probably something that's but represents the Force. They fear the Force. They're not necessarily like evil. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure they got some nefarious, like they got some intentions that's probably bad, but they're not like, it's something it got something to do with the Force. So this doesn't mean that, okay, it's something good out there that they're afraid of. No, it's something from the Force, and it's dark. I think it's dark. But it goes into, like I said, to segue off of that, going into my criticism and sort of my like questioning about how we going forward with the last two episodes is, or what is it? 3 episodes left? 2 episodes, right? 2. Yeah, our last 2 episodes is, and what I didn't like about Thrawn, about what they did with Thrawn, was I didn't like that it seemed like there was some indecisiveness, or that there seemed to be like I know we got 2 episodes left. We're not going to get his grand plan or whatever his plan is for the galaxy, or the war that's ahead. But it kind of was weird for me that it was like, okay, he kind of came back and was like, he told Morgan, like, it don't really matter if we get Ezra or not. We're leaving. Our goal is to leave, which makes sense. But he was like, our goal is to leave this galaxy, not kill Ezra Bridger. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. But my thing was like, well, damn, what is your plan? You know what I mean? Why even bother with Ezra? You gonna leave Sabine and Ezra no matter what? Why do you are you just tying up loose ends by sending the jet off? And if you send the Jedi off, just take off. They can't fly. They don't have
trying to get those catacombs onto the ship. He got to deal with the night. Remember they said it's gonna take us three rotations.
Yeah, that's
they got to get the night sisters. So he went into the little graveyard and pulling up probably old night sisters or whatever, whatever they got to get so they can take back. They probably want to go to Dathomir. I don't know what they want to do, but they told them it was going to
they clearly can't they ain't ready to go yet.
He made a deal. Yeah, he made a deal. And it's probably just for storytelling. I mean, to your point, right? Like storytelling, but he made a promise for them. So whatever they did for him, he, beyond just sending out the beacon, right, to be able to have somebody to find him. And then the thing is like, okay, you go to our graveyards, dig up a couple things, put them on the ship, and then it was like it's gonna take 3 rotations because, like you say, they could just go.
Yeah, so, I just wonder, like, he made that clear, like we can leave these Jedi. You know what I mean? Our goal is to get the hell out of here. Damn the Jedi. You know what I mean? Damn Sabine, damn Ezra. We getting out of here. You know what I mean? But it was kind of like, I don't know. I just hope that we don't end up getting some type of Deus Ex Machina situation where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what happened, and it's 2 episodes to go. I just hope, like you said, all the stuff we just talked about previously in those questions, I hope it's that clear. We theorized on, you theorized, and I theorized on some of that stuff, but I just hope that it's clear what we doing going forward. Clearly, we're not gonna get the, hopefully, like you said, kill off Thrawn. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
They did that, but that was just one of the things. I don't know, maybe, and I think this conversation. This is why we have conversations. That definitely,
of course,
clear it up for me. You know what I mean? Because I was kind of worried about that. Like, well, damn, man. Like, hold on, man. Like,
just get up out of here.
I know you can't leave right now. Like you said, they had the deal and they had the rotations, but it's like, well, man, well, come on, man. Like, well, let's go. Like, or you Thrawn. Like, you Thrawn. You know what I mean? And I know Ahsoka on the way, he was updated on that, where he was like, all right, I need y'all help again. It's like, okay, I get it. So you're gonna have to deal with her too. But I don't know. I'm like, man, I hope you got a plan, bro. Like, you Thrawn. I mean, I think you got a plan, but I don't know your plan right now. Maybe it's me getting ahead of myself. Like, all right, man, what's Thrawn plan? Be like, come on, man. Like, I wanna know what's his plan once he get the hell out of here.
Yeah, we kind of got those two kind of like powerful characters. But it's not really, like you say, it's not clear. No, 100%. Like, because then there's the part about the Thrawn thing. It's the thing about the Thrawn thing, because this is a little bit of a, I guess you have to look at it from a, like you say, legend standpoint, because it's a deviation from when we last saw him alive. And what the animation was, Thrawn worked for the Empire, right? Like he was doing this work for the Empire. It didn't ever seem like Thrawn's ambition is on his own was to take over the galaxy, right? Like that's kind of thrown out there. Like I'm doing the galaxy takeover, but maybe is it that I'm looking at that incorrectly? Like he coming to make noise because he got a lot of building up to do, right?
Yeah.
Like he just not coming on that, Thrawn that dude. Don't get me wrong, but he ain't just showing up on that one ship.
Nah, that ship that's
with some
barely,
patched up night troopers,
and he about alloy and.
That he about to wreck everything, right? There's like some groundwork to do, this, that, the third. There's a lot of things that would have to happen. So
because he dropped the hint, he was like, we didn't talk about this yet, but he was kind of like, she's like, shouldn't we send more troopers? And he like, this first time you see him really like pause ever, like, right? He's just kind of like, no, 2 squadron or whatever,
Yeah, our forces.
We've suffered some losses, like he just honest with her, like, yeah, we kind of low on resources. Okay, so 2 is enough. Yes.
2 will suffice.
Like she kind of like loose with his resources, like, nah, send more, and he like, no, we only have 2. It's gonna be 2. Like, yeah, so. You're right, man. You're not coming back to the galaxy with that group and being like, unless he got something that we don't know about. Again, we probably do, but yeah, you're right. He's not just popping up where he gonna be like, I'm the man, bow down. They're gonna be looking at him like, man, who are you? Like, we got ships too, even though they fleet got jacked from even though they fleet got jacked by the Mandos,
Axe Wolves and them could just pull up, right? Yeah, they could just pull up. So like, even
he gonna need some help,
strong, but still, he ain't gonna need some help because he don't even got. When you look at it, he ain't even like we talked. I think we talked about that on text. Enoch can't be his technical right hand. Like he gonna need some Navy. He gonna need what's your boy that we saw Mando. We're gonna see need all of them.
Yeah,
we gonna need that. He gonna need some admirals. He gonna need some Navy. He gonna need like the best and the brightest. Like that group not gonna do it. They barely being held together. They either getting held together by night magic, dark magic. I mean, in some way, shape, or form. Whether they got their loyalty, like Merrick, or they either Merrick or they enhanced, right? Like to be more like he probably something that can probably like keep their spirits up. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably still, let's say they all still alive, but they probably got a little night sister magic in them to keep them motivated. Right, because they would have gave up, like, man, forget it, infighting, things of that nature that was probably happening in the beginning, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So Tom, and they might be under a spell. Like they might be under a spell more than
they are night troopers, like night sisters and night troopers. That's a good point.
Be that. I don't know. It don't be that, but so he got to rebuild, but which he's willing to do, but like it never really felt like but this maybe go more into the legend side of Thrawn as opposed to the the animated stuff. Like after once he was out there after 5 years after the battle, Battle of Endor, he was like, okay, I get to do it. Like I see where they made the mistakes. I get to do this.
Yeah,
because he probably. I mean, unless he been.
I mean, who a better Monday morning quarterback than Thrawn, right? Like
exactly. Like, does he even really know they lost? Like, does he really know what's going on? Right? Like, oh damn, Palpatine did. Like, does he know that now? We don't know, but it do seem like he I'm ready to come and do the damn thing. Damn. But he had a lot of time to stew on it too.
Yeah. Well, let's get through the episode so we can.
Yeah, let's finish it out. Because one thing I want to bring up is that we get those turtle Ewoks. Like I was like, oh, them the new little turtle dudes.
Hey, once again,
the little turtle dudes.
Star Wars. No, Star Wars.
It's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars.
Is that this right here?
Yeah. So she fight off the bandits, right?
Yeah, that was early.
Sabine show off her. Hey, Sabine heard us. Like she heard our short. Go check out our short. Sabine needs to go see our video. Sabine needs to go see the armor. Check that out. Share that video. But we talked about Sabine, man. She had crazy work in the past. But we get to see a little bit of that. We get to see, as soon as we talked her up, basically. We talked her work up, and she showed a little bit here. She's a little sloppy. She's still a little sloppy here, man. And it's not until again, man, she pull out the lightsaber. And she show off her work.
It was her best work, though. It was her best work with the saber.
Her best work.
Now, mind you, she wasn't going. Like the 2 times she had the saber, she was going against another like a force user, right?
That's
like
true,
it was nice. Yeah, so like she was going against this cannon fodder, but it allowed us to see like one thing she got it, bro. We said it in the, like you say, we said it in the video that we made that she got to upgrade her armor because that little bit she was able to block some stuff, but she got to get her armor upgraded, right?
She definitely.
But she was able to. She got a defensive game right now, right?
Yeah.
But this is the after that.
She had a dog, wolf, horse,
a little dog, horse dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Filoni. That was Filoni doing what he do.
Straight up Filoni.
But she came.
Filoni love animals.
But oh man, he loved them animals, man. Like you say, basically it was basically a dog, a puppy. Yeah. But then she came up on this one I don't want to go too far, but then she came up on those the dog noticed that. The little dog, the bat dog, noticed her. He was, he's smelling around and this thing and the third, and then they came up on these little small creatures. I'm trying to find
they like little turtles, but they kind of like insectoids.
Yeah,
came across like these insectoids.
Yeah, but he noticed the
rebel insignia
on her arm. Yeah, on her arm. Yeah, and then he goes and he pulls out he has his rock chain, right? He has the rebel ice, right?
I'm the
Around his
newest
neck.
member on this Rockefeller team.
Yeah. And then they knew his name, right? Because she doing the talk. She talking
Ezra Bridger.
basic. They don't talk basic. But they knew Ezra Bridger. And then we show up, and then like they take her to the village. We see the God.
We see the God, man.
We see the God. And it was like, when we tell you, I'm gonna tell you 2 reasons why I was so happy.
Yeah.
My first thought, with the way they showcased him.
Yep.
I thought Ezra was Enoch. So I was so happy he wasn't.
Yeah,
I was so happy. It was like say like elation. I was so elated because when they showed him like that, this is my right hand. I was like, oh man, Ezra Enoch. Oh no. So when he showed up at the end, right? When she see him, I'm like, yeah, he's not. So I was so happy. And then I thought, right, because this wasn't the best part of the show, right? Seeing Ron and all that stuff, I get it. Right. Yeah. But for me, it was like, I remember because Ahsoka catching a lot, right? From her origins. I couldn't stand Ezra when I first started watching Rebels.
Oh hell no, I couldn't either.
I was like, because you don't hear nobody, a lot of people didn't
I hated his lightsaber, I hated everything.
Oh man, I hate it. I can't stop, I can't front. I love the lightsaber, right?
The little tape player looking lightsaber.
When you said that, I was like, damn, why did I like it? He shoot with it. It's like tactical. Like,
no, grew on me though. Pause. Was
I supposed to not like it? Yeah, I thought it was like I was trying to find one, but we all got our different tastes. But I hated them always complaining, whining, doing the wrong thing, asking the wrong questions. When I seen them right here, man, like I was happy, man. Like I won't even front, man. I could have shed a thug tear. Right. It didn't, it wasn't really that deep. It was just good to see him. Like it wasn't, he didn't come and save the day.
Man. He's healthy, man. He's not missing an arm. He's not missing a leg. He don't have a scar across his face. He just got a beard. And grew his hair.
He's not on the dark side. He's not.
He's not on the.
He's not a dark force user.
Eyes still blue.
Yeah. He's not under mind control. Right. Like, I wonder if that's some Mandalorian armor he got around his chest, like Grogu. Like, he got the chainmail. Like,
definitely got the chainmail. Yeah.
So, like, he was doing that, and then the second part, I have to bring up. I think Ezra being back on.
Yeah. Oh,
I think Ezra being back.
You know how Filoni gave it to us because
you
know how we know Ezra Bean is on the way the damn turtle insectoids acted when they
got all hype.
They was like, wait a minute, because they whispering in their language like, oh, are they?
Yeah. Yeah, that's his lady because we ain't seen him.
And plus, Ezra and Ezra giving her a hug of like, hey, it's good to see you. Sabine holding on like,
yeah, she pulling him in.
Yeah, it's being like, oh, Sabine wanna, she holding him. It's like an extended hug. So
Ezra being back on.
Ezra being back on, bro. Yeah. Ezra,
what did you think? Yeah, so I was just happy. Like he asked her, they talking and everything, and he's bringing up. He had the line about like she was like, you didn't he's like, I knew you would find me. What took you so long? And she like, well, you didn't tell us your plan. And she was like, well, and it was like, but it worked, right? Then he had to ask her again, like, it did work.
It did work, right?
And she was like, yeah, it worked or whatever. But then they having a little banter back and forth, and then it was like at the end she was like, he was like,
oh, he answered one of our original questions. Yeah, one of our shorts.
What was that?
You want to go home, bro? It was when she was like,
oh yeah. Because we was like, what if you don't?
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, we've been out here putting content.
Yeah,
we've been out here putting content like that, like question and answer, right? So it was like he was like, how did you get here? How'd you ride that? Like, how'd you even get here? She like, let me just get this moment to be happy. It did make me think though, because I was like, I don't think in any of Sabine's history, Rebels to this, like we ever seen a moment where she was happy, right? Like she always was like ready to fight. She was always kind of like fierce. She was always fierce. Like even when she went, like when she got accepted by her family, they was already tactical, looking at the board, like, hey, so we're going to attack Saxons over here. Like it went right into that. When she came back to Yavin 4, right? Like she came back to help in the front season, the last season, and then like when Zev seen her, like he happy, like hey, he was like you ain't get soft on me. She stole on him, like she never just like
you're right,
like
man.
show like she was happy. So when she said that, I was like, damn, I don't think Sabine ever. I mean, I said I had a whole thing earlier, ever really been happy. She said that like, look, man, it's about to get bad. We just had this little 5 minutes
because I got bad news for you. She holds
this one. Okay, so question, right? And we only got one more part to go. And we can really get it. We can really dive in. What did you think of Ezra's live action appearance? We didn't get much, but
I'm be honest, man. I never, because again, man, Ezra, it wasn't like Ezra went from having features to not really having that many features. I'm talking about the original animated version. He went to having he had long hair. He didn't have a beard or a mustache because he was a kid. He always had the blue eyes, kind of like the nose. I had no idea really what Ezra would look like, and because it's not like he's not like it's not a bunch of features, right? It's not like he got like scars or he never had a mustache. And then when he got older and like after Kanan pretty much passed, like Kanan started getting deeper into his training, he cut all his hair off, and he just had, he kind of had just like the low cut. He had the Caesar. He always had blue eyes. So, I thought, but it was
last episode. The mark is on his face now. He didn't get that to the last episode.
Exactly. But when I saw the nose and the eyes, I was like, yeah, that's Ezra. I mean, even though, and I expect him to shave his head and cut his beard out to us. So,
for real.
Yeah, that's my.
Oh, you got to go back to the Caesar.
Oh yeah, he gonna go back to the Caesar at some point. But yeah, man, I was just like you said, bro. I was happy, man. He ain't come out and he was like he had the Luke hand where he had a mechanical hand or foot or something, or
looking
he
like
scarred up.
What's my man? Who they did that to? Gullet. My man.
Saw Gerrera. Yeah, he wasn't grizzled. You know what I mean?
He's just a machine.
Yeah, it's like the 10 years been all right to him. You know what I mean? He done found, he done inspired some people. Again, I'm holding with bated breath here. Pause, like to see what they gonna do with Ezra. But I was happy, man. It was good, man. It was a good thing. It was a good feeling, man. Seeing him come out and not turn to the dark side, not be in some type of comatose state or something like that, or hidden somewhere. And what I hope and what I really was happy about, again, that we didn't get this broken down half a man like we've been getting. Where he like, thanks Sabine, but it's been a rough 10 years. Like, nah, man, he was happy. He was still the kid that we remember. He was upbeat.
He was at peace.
Ezra. Yeah, he was like, hey man, these my people now. Gave her that hug. It wasn't him just like, you shouldn't have come here. You shouldn't have came. It was not. He was ready to go.
It was the dude. I didn't think about that till you just said that. This was the dude that didn't want to part of anything, right? He didn't want part of anything when they came and grabbed him, right? So now he overheated and started his own little rebellion. He started his own little band, like this little Ewok turtle situation. Yeah. He done started his own rebellion. Like they got the chain, like so whatever work they doing, sticking and moving basically. Pause. Like they do damage and probably move or whatever it is that they do, they get in and they move. But like, right, it was great. I was so because it wasn't a Mo Menace thing, like you say. It wasn't like even if it was on the other side, it wasn't a Luke thing where he came and saved the day and this, that, and the third. That didn't happen. It was just. It's my man's right there. I see you still doing good. Like I ain't seen you in a while. It was just good. I was happy, man, because I didn't think about that until you brought that up when you was like, because I didn't think about how I wanted to see. I just wanted to see Ezra, right? Like, man, I can't believe we really about to go see Ezra. But when you was like, you to basically paraphrase, you was like, man, I don't want what he did to be for nothing, right? Meaning like if he was half of, like you say, half a man, that's a trope. If he was, like you say, captured, they had to save him. He was like jaded, or if he was just if he was under the nice sister magic, like that's a whole thing. Like, how did he not succumb to that? But that he wasn't that. He was Ezra. He was Ezra right there, man. I was just like, yo, I'm happy. That moment alone made it my favorite. Right on top of the other stuff that was happening, that moment alone, because I was like, whoo, they had already answered, like you say earlier, because they told me earlier. Damn, Ezra could have just came back, man. He could talk to the whales. Oh,
that's why he couldn't. Okay,
that's why he
whales
couldn't
probably
come
dead.
back. Like, yeah. And you know, Filoni was like, you know how much I'm gonna do this? I'm gonna make the ring a whale ring, bro. Yeah. So you really can hit it home. Like that's why he couldn't call out to him.
Nah, he was stuck.
It's not happening. It was over.
And,
we get to the final part of the episode with the Night Sisters letting Thrawn know that Ahsoka's on the way. Thrawn goes in a technical mode and said, I want to know everything about her, right? Her master, where she from, all this.
Because that made me think back, like, because I guess she was out of the picture by the time they really started dealing with Thrawn again. She wasn't. She had kind of. Yeah, she's they don't know each other. You know, even though she wasn't around.
Yeah. Remember, she was in the she had lost to Vader. She was pretty much dead. Like when Thrawn, when Thrawn showed up, he showed up in season 3. Ahsoka, we didn't see Ahsoka at the end after the Twilight of the Apprentice.
I just realized
they never crossed paths.
His uniform is kind of tattered. I didn't even notice that at first. Damn.
Oh, like this little stuff right here.
See, he got frayed
up in there.
Yeah, it's been a long 10 years.
You're right. It's been a while, but I want them pins still work.
Right.
What I was gonna add is that we can it seems like you could tell he loses trust, if any, that he had in Balin. Then they ask the nicest for the aid with the dark magic. They say the thread of the thread of destiny depends on it. So my question to you was, what do you think the purpose is of the Night Sisters' dark magic? If you had a theory, or
I only can
even for Ron to say that.
You brought up something just when we didn't put the video out, but we had theories on basically what they was gonna find when they found Thrawn. It's not in our Ahsoka discussion. But
that's a fail that I don't got that out. I was supposed to do another video.
I should have known. I meant to put that one out, but I slipped.
I was supposed to put it out yesterday to get ready for the predictions.
I wasn't saying it like that though. Yeah, I really wasn't saying it like that.
We actually had a dope conversation.
No, we did. But what we talked about, when you brought up something, you was kind of like, man, different. Obviously, we think kind of like said, like Filoni could pull from Legends, right? And one of the things he can pull is, luckily, we found out it wasn't Ezra. Like Ezra might be that dude to kind of like how he used Saboth, the Jedi from Heir to the Empire, the original Heir to the Empire. But the point I'm making is what I think, drawn from Legends. And I'll say that, like, so there was in Heir to the Empire, there's this whole idea of like, it's more so what they kind of said the Emperor did in Legends, right? Which was the Emperor can control the troops, basically. Yeah. His presence alone had an effect on the troops, on all the squadrons, everybody in the Empire. Him being alive and through the Force, he can kind of like compel the troops, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they're called Night Troopers already. I think their magic is going to be why he's able to come back with this, even with this small army, the small garrison that he has left. He's going to not only use that magic on the troops that he has, he's going to use that magic on what's left of the Empire. And so the way he used the Jedi and Heir to the Empire in the books, I think he's going to do that with the Night Sisters. It's not the Force, obviously, but their magic. I think he's going to use their magic to compel and control what's left of the Empire to try to strike back at the New Republic. And we already can see how that would work. Shit, I don't even think if they just came together and attacked the New Republic, they probably have a good shot. But you throw in some dark magic, and that can work both ways, whether it be over the troops and against the New Republic. You put a spell on, these goofy New Republic officials or politicians. You definitely gonna have some. Thrawn gonna be able to rise back to power easily. I think so. That's what I think. I think the dark magic is gonna be used for that. It's going to be to control the army or to have an effect on the army.
But what about this? This actually kind of like I feel like the 6 or 7 is going to be a 2-parter, right? 6 or 7 is a 2-parter, kind of like Mando season 1, right? Basically, that was a 2-parter when Gideon showed up, and it was basically a 2-parter to the end. That's what I think this one's going to be. But like when he know Ahsoka's on the way, and then he looks right. Now, could that possibly be like something protective for the? Because I was trying to think like, what would dark magic other than him? So like this is what I thought, and I don't know who's the candidate, right? But similar to basically like Savage Opress. Like if somebody on this team a candidate to get Savage oppressed, because he was a problem. The only one who was nice, Kenobi was nice.
Yeah.
Because Kenobi was taking on both of them. Like now Palpatine mocked him. But like they should have took out Kenobi, and Kenobi had work for him, right? Like, and it was both of them. But I say that to say somebody made like he might want somebody. I know, look, because he know, like Thrawn, like Ahsoka's a problem. I don't think I could really rely on this Balin guy, or maybe it's for baby girl, right? Maybe he see it as for Shin, but like I think there's a Savage Opress candidate somewhere around that when he say that second line, like because I'm with you, I think that's what the catacombs is gonna be, right? Like we gonna get they taking a lot from Fallen Order, bro. Like remember when you went to Dathomir, not Fallen Order, when we went to Dathomir and those Night Sisters would jump up and they was ready for action, right? And then they also had like those kind of like those like dudes, like those other dudes you had to fight and all that. They was really all under the spell. Like we get, but something to that effect used on the troopers, right? Not with you, like just to have that. That's what I think is more of an influence.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
maybe
the green.
Some enhancement, right? So some of that, like, so you need like those three wouldn't be enough. You really need Night Sisters, and they no more around because General Kenobi, your boy Grievous took them out. Right, Grievous took them out in the Clone Wars, but no one's really dead in Star Wars. You just bring back, we've seen it. There's precedent for what we see in Fallen Order that we can like you have those, and then maybe they're combined source, and what they can do for his garrison and other troopers, right? But for right now, I think someone's a candidate. So that's what I'm gonna say. It's probably totally wrong, right? But I think somebody's a candidate.
That somebody gotta
right
be
now,
right.
Savage Opress kind of deal.
Yeah,
to be able to see Ahsoka. He know Ahsoka a problem. A problem.
I think you. It might be Enoch.
And if they go get Ezra,
it's a lot of Jedi. There's 4 Jedi out there now.
We already looked up Enoch, right? We looked him up, right? Remember we was there the other day. We was like, that might be who did we say he might?
Oh, that dude gonna show his face, man. That dude ain't gonna.
He's showing
his
rock
face. That helmet the whole time. He ain't just there for a voice, bro. That dude about to be out. He about to be out.
We was like, he's a candidate for my boy Mutton Chop. We was like,
the black dude do his voice.
Lamar. Your boy Lamar something.
Yeah,
he do a lot of voices too, but it's a brother to do his voice. So I was like, but we end up finding, that's Enoch. Who the hell is Enoch? Oh, that's Enoch. It may be somebody like him to get to do that, right? So that's what I would think that like we need to really dig in, because
that's a good.
They know Ahsoka's Ahsoka, right? Like, okay, I ain't see the star of the show. Like, we need somebody badass to be able to get at her, and I think that's what I think the dark magic is. I think the dark magic is for, because now, like, if she show up. Right. So let's just say what we got there. We got her. We got Ezra. I would imagine this is me saying right now, just for the sake of whatever battle they got going on, for what Thrawn and Ultimate Power is trying to do. I think they got Balin for a time being. Even if it means that somebody else ain't gonna die. I'm not saying like he joining forces with them, but like he ain't gonna let something. I think I said it already. I think his demise is going to be not wanting to let whatever Thrawn and maybe even Shin try to do to Sabine and Ezra, it ain't gonna happen, right? He's not gonna let that happen, because he think he has an altruistic plan. But whatever it is, we at least got Ezra and Ahsoka, right? Like, they really gonna need an uptick, and I think we're gonna get a Savage Opress type. It's Filoni, right? He's done it before, right? So I would say that. Let me ask you a question. I got a couple more questions.
Go ahead.
After getting to this new galaxy, do you think this place's purpose will ultimately be for storytelling in this show, and then we're done, or is it going to play a part in future stories? Like, what is your impression?
It's literally the first thing. That's that question right there. It's literally the first question I asked myself when I promise you, when when the episode started, I was like, they didn't come all this way to just turn around and leave, bro. Like it's too much. Again, man, this is how Star Wars is built, right? We build a universe off of things that we see. You saw Boba Fett for the first time, that became Mandalorians. When you saw Obi-Wan for the first time, that became Jedi. We see things, and the things you fill out the universe by explaining who the hell, where they came from. We in the new galaxy. We understand that these are raiders, that these are bandits or whatever that attacked her, and then now, but they seem like they got some sort of like uniformity, I guess, or order or whatever, right? Like they're not just wild bandits. They came back like to look at what happened. Like, hey, and they look like they're about to negotiate with some Jedi. So that's a story to tell.
Like they're Tuskens.
Yeah, exactly. They're basically the Tusken Raiders of that planet. You also got the turtle people, or the insectoid, or what you call them, turtle Ewoks. You got them. They got a story. Yeah, they got a story. You got the dog wolves. You got a whole planet here and a whole galaxy. I don't think we came all this way to just turn around and leave, man. I think some time about to get spent in this galaxy. That was literally my last question I was going to ask you. Was like, do you think we're going to leave this galaxy by the end of this season? Because I don't think we are. I don't think we leave in this galaxy. I just think that it's a lot to do here, man. They might get out. I'm just saying, like, I still think there's a story to tell. So we're gonna learn a little bit more about this planet at least before we depart. So the first thing I thought was like, man, did we come when they saw them witches, and them witches was just standing there like they live there, man. They not stranded. That's their planet. I was like, we didn't come this way to just turn around.
Yeah.
To just be like, all right, well, hey, see you later. You know, it's like, nah, we here. Same way we was here when we got the Tatooine for the first time. Like, we ain't leaving just yet.
A lot of ways we never left, right?
We never left. Kept coming back.
We went to 50% of the damn Mandoverse in Tatooine. So, right.
That's what I'm saying. And what's the other planet? Navarro. Like, so I'm saying, like, we're here, man. Like, there's a story to be told on this planet. I don't think in 2 episodes.
And probably other planets.
And other systems.
Galaxy.
Yeah, it's a galaxy, man. So it's just so much. Balin hearing voices. Ezra, like, all right, come on, let's pack up, let's go. They not gonna they gotta get back somewhere, you know. So they gonna be on a little journey. Ahsoka about to get there and react to the galaxy, to the new galaxy. Purrgil, we gonna see what happens now when the Purrgil get there, which we didn't see with Ezra. So damn, man, I got away from your original question. Your original question was say it again.
No,
you said
that's what I asked.
Yeah.
You think we just here by that was the question. It was basically 2 parts of the same question. Like,
my bad.
You think we this was just a stop?
Nah, I think we here.
And we done with this? Like Thrawn get back and they sneak on the ship and then they go back and this, that, and the third? Or is this part of future storytelling? Like, is this, you know, as we continue with the Mandoverse and whatever they want to do, another animated show, but things continue on in this universe, right? You know, that's the thing. Like, did we like I'll use Multiverse of Madness. Like, we did all that to get over to that other unit, out of the multiverse, and then we was back.
Yeah,
like,
no.
It don't seem like we ever doing that.
About to tell some stories.
Yeah.
Plus, I look, and answered like the second part of that question about future storytelling. Yeah, I think I'll be surprised if we don't get Ezra's story, his 10 years, if we don't get that comprised in whether it be Tales of the Jedi or some way, we don't get a vignette, and we might even go back to animated as just to get that because I'm curious about if Filoni gonna do that now. Because I'm just wondering, once you become live action, because I guess he did that with Ahsoka, because we saw her in Mandalorian, and then we went back and we did get her in Tales of the Jedi. So I want to, and Fennec Shan too, I think was like live action. Then we got her animated version. So I want to see. So I'll be surprised if we don't see Ezra's story about how he got through those 10 years.
He'd be a perfect candidate for Tales of the Jedi, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that'd be a good way to get people, because Ezra's been gone for a minute, so it'd be a good way to get people reintroduced.
They could damn near do one on Balin and Ezra. both sides like they did with Dooku and Ahsoka.
That'd be dope.
They could do one instantly for like, I mean, obviously you could pull other people, but you could do one instantly on these two.
See a young Shin, man, that's another thing, bro. But my bad. But what do you think about that, though? What do you think about that? You think we
there was a part at first. There was a part at first when we first rolled up, and then you see the kind of desolate planet it was. That was nondescript, right? This was my mind, mind you. We had Dathomir witches. We got all this going on, but instantly, where I was like, "Oh, this is kind of a wasteland." As you started, once Sabine started walking out, I was like, "This might just be here today, gone tomorrow, right?" And we go back. But as we got to the end, Filoni didn't bring I think Filoni didn't even bring the sectozoids.
Yeah.
Those little creatures.
We gotta get the
build them out. Yeah. With those creatures and everything like that, and Ezra done built a rebellion with them and all that. Like, and then Balin saying what he was saying, right? There's something here. Mm-hmm. So you hear it, like it's something here. Nah, I think because we ain't even seen people. We seen those bandits, but like there's probably other people on the
there's
probably other Tantalor might be. No, I'm playing, but like there might be other things out here. I never wanted nothing more in my life almost now than that. I'm just putting that out there.
Then what? Tantalor?
Never want to see, man. I never wanted anything in my life more now because it's too much.
I was about to ask you. I was going to ask you about that, man. Bro. Dude, don't you think? My bad. I didn't mean to cut you from the original answer, but after this, I was almost like, I'm almost like, Marion got to show up.
You got to.
You got this. You got the witches. Like this is a big part of their lore that is brought into the forth. Into the, you know what I mean? Like they've expanded so much on their lore.
Yes.
Something that Fallen, like you said, they took so much from Fallen Order. Fallen Order did that. Nobody else was doing that. Not even Filoni. Once they killed off the witches, Filoni kind of, and Savage Opress finally was killed, they kind of was done with the witches. Like, the witches was done. We didn't hear about them until we played that game. But for Filoni to bring them back in and expand now and be like, no, this is not only they tell to explain their origin and to show their home planet, almost like y'all ain't call out to Tantalor as Marin. Like, again, I don't know if they inherently evil. Like, I just think they just made a deal. Like, and they don't like Jedi. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But a lot of people don't like Jedi. But a lot of people don't like Jedi. But yeah, I'm almost like, man, I'm almost like Marion kind of gotta show up at this point. I'll be surprised if she don't.
If those ghost sisters, the dog when they come back to life and they got the green and they look like skeletons and they doing like they do in Fallen Order.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, somebody gotta.
I'm just they in a new galaxy. I
wouldn't have cared honestly because I didn't want it to happen. Right, didn't want it to happen. Plus, it was a lot of garbage. I don't say that. It was just things that were coming out. That was like, well, it's not conducive for Cal to show up because Cal a weapon, right? Things of that nature. Yeah. But once they found that path to be able to get to Tantalor that was, I don't know, like you say, they had to find some map, but then they found their own way, but they had to get somewhere. There was a whole nother untouched world beyond what the High Republic had already did when they first got there. Like nobody had touched anything. It's like, oh, okay, they could have been away from everything. Because that's all you got.
They came out. Yeah,
it can be weak, but it's like all you gotta do is tell me why they wasn't in the big game. All you gotta do is tell me why they wasn't in the big game, and then you just gave them all a name. You give them all a name. They all Boken Jedi, right? Some of our favorite Jedi have been Boken Jedis now. Luke.
That was my next question. Is Luke a Boken Jedi? We get to that, but
gotta put him in there, right?
He is. He's raised in the wild. Yeah,
he was raised in the wild.
Yeah, he was raised in the wild. He was brought up in the wild. Boken Jedi.
Boken Jedi. He never touched the temple.
Damn.
He don't know the temple. He don't know the temple more than Luke don't. I mean, Ezra don't. Right? I'm just saying that out there. I mean, I guess Cal wouldn't be one. I'm lying because Cal was in the temple.
Cal was in the temple for a good time. Cal was older than Jars.
Yeah, he was older. Yeah, Cal. Yeah,
like Cal was like a full teenager. He was in there. He was doing flips and shit. Yeah, he was training. He was running walls. He was well trained. Yeah. Him and Grogu, they was him and Grogu are not both. Yeah, I can't call them Boken. They was in the
Grogu
they was
not
outside.
a Boken.
They was outside.
I forgot all about Grogu. What we got going on right now, yeah. So I don't. So kind of going, but so finishing that part, I gotta get Cal and Marin and all of them. Now you can't. They're here. We here. Right, their story can continue on in here. That's what happened. They did what they did,
and
over
both
there.
actors can play the parts, right? Like you just paint Marin up. We see the Butchers in live action now. So once I saw that,
I don't know how you don't have that and you have Marin. I don't know how you have that and don't have Marin. You kind of
voice actors look like the character too. So I mean,
she look like her.
Yeah, she can pull it off.
Like you know how you look like her, but then you really look like her.
You look like her, yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, she can just come in.
Kyle looked just like his character.
Yeah, obviously she can act. We need Marin. Because we heavy. Like, you're right. That was probably the loop I would have saw about this season. Like, wow, we really gonna really lean into the Thrawn was aided by the witches.
That was interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's their planet. Like that was so there's a part of me even too with that. Before I get to my final question, and then we do what we do. But like before I do that, they give us Sabine, this, that, and the third. They was gonna find a way home. And they wouldn't use they just would have. It probably was another star map somewhere else. Like you think that was the only Dathomirian? Which how many? Just think about all the Jedi temples they had, right? Like they just was opposite sides on the corner. How they either use the Force or use because they called it different. Like the whatever they was about, meaning the witches, right? Like. Yeah. They probably had other areas. They was gonna get the Thrawn, whether Sabine did that or not, it was just gonna be another one because it was the witches calling. They just needed the map.
Yeah, shout out to Filoni, man. You got to give him his props on that. Even they call us, we've been called Filoni Shields, and it's not gonna get better after this. But shout out to Filoni, man, for not doing the mystery box, right, or not doing the MacGuffin. Nah, he explains that. Yeah, it makes sense when you put it together, right? That it's like, they would. There's a correspondence going on here. This isn't. Yeah, they just not yelling out to the ether. Help me. Yeah. No, there's somebody on the other end. Like, here, we in another galaxy. B, like, we're gonna send you. We're sending beacons out to you. We got your boss here. So a star map makes sense. It's not just a MacGuffin. Like where it's like, oh, the map don't need. Damn the map. We don't need this. Like they would do in the movies, sequel trilogy. But it's like it actually makes sense, and in the games too. Like that's something like Tanalorr, like how they got the Tanalorr, and what I mean. I'm just saying it makes sense. Like it wasn't just when they destroyed that map meant something. I mean, it really helped them get there, and it really was somebody on the other end. It wasn't a trick. It wasn't a red herring. You know what I mean? That's how they got there. Like being,
it makes sense that
Ahsoka got there with the whale,
and it makes sense that we get to the other side. I was surprised. Like no one really did it. Not anything else. That the person that will be talking to Morgan would be another witch.
Yeah, that was dope.
Witch. Remember, I was like,
that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite sces is when she bow down to the witch, like great mother. Like that was like damn, like yeah. I just thought that was I like the witches. I like the way that they was presented. They seem very alien. And what I wanted to say about this episode too. Let me say it before I forget. Before we get off of here and I don't say this. And man, this was great television, man. This proved to me, and I know it was in there. Like we had member berries in there, right? But this show don't have to just be member berries, and that don't like the Mandoverse doesn't just have to be that of reminding you of what came before, like where we just nostalgia, right? Nah, man, this was good. This was a good episode, very good episode. It's a good show. It's a very good show, and this was a good episode and a very good episode and a very good show. It's not perfect. It's not great in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
But this is science fiction, fantasy. This was perfect.
Bro, when we went to the one when we showed right here, we was in science fantasy right there,
man, with the wolf howling and all that shit.
Yeah, come on,
when they was coming down to the planet. I know you ain't got that. You probably ain't got that clip or nothing like that. But when they made their way down to the planet and there's no dialogue and everybody just kind of looking at each other, and you see the two uncertain people on the ship, which was Sabine and Shin looking at Sabine almost like it's a look of like contempt, but also confusion. Like, do you?
Yeah.
You know what's going on? Okay.
You know what? I
like,
did have a picture.
When they looking at it, and
I
Sabine kind of just looking like, but when that ship, exactly. When that ship coming to the
like,
atmosphere,
I can't stand you, but they was on the same type of time, right?
Like I get what, I'm confused too. That was dope.
They was on the
that
same
was
time.
The music, the score, the sound effects, no dialogue, they just tell a story through those looks. That was perfect. Yeah, man, this is the best looking episode. It's the best standalone episode. It's the best standalone episode, if you ask me. Right?
Okay.
Like, would you? Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
it's the
100%.
best standalone episode. If I had to pull one episode out and been like, to me, this is the best standalone episode. Like, I get it. The other one's got a lot of member berries and familiar faces and names and stuff like that. But this like sells me on the seat. This like tells me like, okay, yeah, they had something planned here. They got a story here. They trying to tell us a story. They're not just relying on nostalgia. Like, they really got a story they're gonna tell us here.